Our next candidate is Ron Kutch, who is going to introduce himself. 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Ron Kutch. I live in North Bend with my wife, Christy, and our dog, Brando. He's a yellow lab. We moved to the area in 1975. We raised our 4 kids here. I'm sorry, 1985. We raised our 4 kids here and about a zillion foster kids. We're empty nesters now. I have extra time on my hands, and I'd like to give back to the community. I'm the IT and communications manager for West Coast Contractors in Coos Bay. I worked in the technology field since the 1970s. I've been an owner and or manager since the 1990s. In general, I am a conservative. I like to say I'm a Republican, not a Trumpublican. I'm more of a George H.W. Bush, 1,000 points of light, kinder and gentler type of conservative. My wife is the homeless liaison for North Bend Schools, where she works with homeless families. I'm running for 2 reasons for City Council. Number 1, I want to start a conversation between the City of North Bend and the citizens of North Bend. We know what everybody had for dinner last night with pictures, but we don't know what's going on at City Hall. We can't all go to City Hall meetings. I do. I enjoy City Hall meetings. I'm weird that way. Zoom meetings are here to stay, and that's good, but we need to find a way to get information to the citizens and input back from the citizens. Maybe social media, although Facebook discussions may be counterproductive. The City of Coos Bay has an email blast that they send out to 1,000 recipients. Maybe some type of a social media. I don't know. We need to look into that. It's the citizens' responsibility. It's the city's responsibility to get the information out to the citizens, but the citizens also have responsibility to give input back to the city. And I want to start a conversation between the City of North Bend and the rest of Coos County. I sit on committees and boards and work groups all over the county. Coos Bay is there, Bandon is there, Coquille is there, the county is there, Powers isn't there, but Lakeside is there sometimes. And we all need to work together to have a better area collectively. North Bend has been hesitant to participate. Okay, and I would like to change that.
Okay, our first question for you is, how would you improve communication between the city government and the citizens?
That one's made for me. As I mentioned, maybe some type of a social media. We can't expect all of the citizens to show up at City Hall meetings. The city has a responsibility to get information out, maybe an email blast. I don't know. There are ways to do it. Other cities have done it. We need to research it. We need to look into it. North Bend's website needs a revamp. I believe they're working on that. It's not real user-friendly. There's a way to go in and sign up to get notifications. It's not real intuitive. It needs to be easier to do. In general, I think that maybe a quarterly town hall meeting, coffee with a council member, things like that. We need to engage the city. And I think that to this point, the city has been hesitant to do anything other than have City Hall meetings at the City Hall and wait for people to show up. That needs to change.
Thank you. The next question, what should be the city's approach to the problem of the unhoused?
So I know a little bit more about housing than a lot of folks, as my wife is a homeless liaison. I'm kind of real estate centric. I sit on the housing action team group in the area. We're looking for solutions regularly to try to figure out how to house people. It's not just a homelessness problem, it's a housing problem. In general, we don't have enough houses, and that creates a lot of demand, particularly on the lower end. So if we can increase our housing supply, we can increase the number of people that are in homes. Homelessness will always be a problem. There are some folks who are mentally ill. We can't solve those problems. Looking at smaller lot sizes, looking at putting in some apartment buildings, some duplexes. We've passed the accessory dwelling unit measure in Oregon, where accessory dwelling units, or we'll call them mother-in-law apartments, are mandated by the state to be in every city. I'm on the planning commission. We worked through those things and came up with some solutions for that. Maybe taller instead of wider. There are many things we do. We don't have a lot of room left in North Bend, but we need to get creative and we need to sit down and have a conversation and talk about it. And to this point, North Bend has decided not to be part of those discussions.
The next question, given the continuing crisis of global climate change, what would be your approach to protecting the environment?
So I lived in Oregon most of my life. I love the rivers, I love the mountains, I love the trees. I think that we can have a balance between industry and protecting the environment. That's not really something that we would solve on North Bend City Council, honestly. We need to make sure that industries that are in the city are clean and abiding by the laws. There are regulations that need to be abided by. We can look at things in our own city as a city councilman and do what we can to make sure that they are following the laws. That's about the most we can do within our city council.
Okay. And the last question, is there waste in the city budget? And if so, where would you make cuts and why?
So I'm on the North Bend Budget Committee. I have, for 2 years now, I've gone through the budget. I'm not an expert in budget matters. The Budget Committee is designed to have citizens look over the budget, not make the budget, but review the budget and ask questions. So I think that there can be savings anywhere at any time. I don't know that there's a lot of waste. We actually, we run pretty lean. There are things that the city would like to do that they have not had the funds to do. Streets are one of them. Of course, there's the public safety issue. I think that the first place to start is to do a thorough review of the finances of the city and the budget and look for ways to cut. I don't want to be known as the city that works our employees the hardest and expects the most out of them and gives them the least pay. I think they need to have equitable pay. There just needs, again, there needs to be an open discussion, conversation between the city and the citizens and the departments to see where all that can be done. And it starts with a very good review or audit or whatever word you want to use for that.
Okay, so you have 1 minute now to wind up.
So I talked about 2 conversations that I wanted to have. There's a third one that is important. The North Bend City Council needs to have a conversation with the North Bend City Council. I don't know that they don't communicate well, but there will be new faces on the council for sure come November, December. Today, it seems that there are too many folks standing on either side of the fence throwing rocks back and forth at each other. I've always been a consensus builder, not a rock thrower. I prefer to have a conversation over a warm or cold beverage and solve problems. Again, I'm not saying that any of the candidates or the current councilors are rock throwers. I'm just saying that I'm committed to building a consensus and solving problems. I want to work together with the rest of the city, the rest of Coos County, and especially with the citizens of North Bend to build a truly great city. That's why I'm running for city council. You can see more at ron4northbend.com. That's Ron, number 4, northbend.com, or facebook.com/ron4northbend. Or you can go to ron4northbend.com and then there's a link over to the Facebook. Thank you.